Hello， 大家好，欢迎收看这一期的求学梦，我是萱萱。美食对于留学生活来说呢，绝对是非常重要的一个部分，因为呢，吃得好有助于留学生们呢更好地完成学业，而且呢，还是帮助他们认识多元文化、了解世界的一个重要途径。今天我们的节目的主题呢，就是关于吃。那我们节目组呢，将探店位于加州帕萨迪纳的一间法式餐厅 Perle。那这间餐厅的老板娘呢，是一位华裔。那她的主厨呢，是一位米其林级别的大师。那我们也希望呢，通过镜头前一道道精致的法式菜肴，让您足不出户也能领略法式风情。
大家好，我是雨琦。留学生活中的各地美食是让我们了解多元文化的窗口，也为我们打开了认识世界的大门。身处多元文化熔炉的洛杉矶，我们有幸可以足不出户就品尝到最地道的美味。有一家精致的法国餐厅坐落于加州帕萨迪纳小镇，华裔老板娘和米其林主厨强联合，法式菜品让你流连。今天我就和主厨 Dean Yasharian 相约，带你朵颐地道法式美味，跟我走。
Bonjour Yuqi.
Bonjour, Chef Dean. Comment ça va?
Ça va bien?
Thank you so much for having me. What a beautiful space.
It's amazing to have you, and welcome to Perle.
Thank you. It's such a lovely afternoon in Pasadena. The sun finally came out. I'm so happy.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's a beautiful day, and we're so happy to have you here and show you around. So.
Thank you. I know Perle opened right before quarantine. I can't even imagine. It's so challenging, especially for a restaurant that opened right before quarantine. But you guys persevered throughout. And I am in awe of the hard work that you put out.
Yeah, thank you so much. I mean, it's hard enough to open a restaurant on its own, and then to add the pandemic onto that. You know, we're fighters, and
you are.
We sort of, you know, carefully and safely, you know, put our heads down and came out the other side, so we're very fortunate.
Yeah, and look at this. Everything fit together perfectly. And I can't help but notice all the details that you put into work inside the restaurant. All the paintings on the wall, the decor, and the furniture, and the chandelier.
Yeah, so part of the, you know, the decor and the design is very personal to me and Pauline. You know, I grew up on a farm on the East Coast, upstate New York, and you know, we've managed to find a lot of old photography of my family, my ancestors, my Armenian roots. So we've been, you know, fortunate to showcase some of that in the restaurant.
Yeah, and that's why it creates such an intimate environment, atmosphere inside the restaurant.
I'll give a lot of the credit to my wife, Pauline, for the design vision. But, you know, we didn't want it to be, we wanted it to feel like a home.
Yeah.
Or an extension of our home, or a place that's felt lived in, sort of timeless, and not, we didn't want it to look like your traditional bistro.
Yeah.
We wanted to feel unique to us.
Yeah.
So that's a continual project.
Yeah.
We keep adding layers and layers onto it. So.
And Pauline's not here today, but she did such a great job working on the project, and And she's also Chinese American, so
That's
you
right, yeah.
can't go wrong with the working ethics of Chinese American.
Yeah, very hardworking, focused, structured, but I absolutely love it. I love her family. I love, she's taught me a lot about Chinese cuisine
and I believe vice versa.
Yeah. I mean, Pauline and her family are big foodies. I would say Chinese is their first cuisine that they eat regularly, but they definitely love French food. They love fine dining. They love different Asian cuisines.
Yeah.
I think when Pauline and I we met in New York City, and she really introduced me to a lot of new foods. So I'm very grateful for that.
And look at what a perfect match, and look what came out of this.
Thank you. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks so much. Yeah, I couldn't have done, it wouldn't have looked like this without Pauline, that's for sure.
Yeah. Okay, now, should we sneak into your kitchen?
Of course. It's where the magic happens, so let's go.
Let's do it. It smells so divine. I feel like I'm in paradise.
Thank you. Welcome to my kitchen.
Thank you for having me. And I know this is where the magic happens. And now, most people don't have the opportunity to sneak into a kitchen like this, but today, we've got you. And Chef Dean is gonna spoil me for preparing some of his favorite signature dishes.
Of course, very, very good to have you. Today we're going to cook a classic coq au vin dish the way that we do it here at Perle.
I've never had it before, and I'm in the middle of all the actions right now, so I think that's even more exciting.
Yeah, so the first step is we take our chicken legs. In this case, we cut them in half already, but we use the thigh and the drum. Really the only thing we do is we want to take off a little bit of this knuckle, so that when we're cooking it, the meat actually pulls down and naturally Frenches the bone. So we just do a little. And then the very important step is we need to marinate these overnight in red wine. So that will absorb all the wine flavor.
Get all that flavor.
We'll give it a deeper flavor in the end result. So here's a little red wine. So the dish typically comes from Burgundy. Different regions of France do their own variation now. So we use Burgundy wine, or Pinot Noir.
Pinot Noir, it's my favorite.
Yeah, so we'll let that sit overnight for about, 12 hours. You could even do 24 hours, the longer the better. And then what you end up with is this. So this is still the raw chicken, which is marinated in red wine overnight. And then from this point, we cook. So we have the wine. This is the wine that the chicken was marinating in, so we use that. It's a very important part of the dish as well. So I'll get these seasoned, start searing them off. Just a little salt.
All that flavors, all that herbs. This specific dish, how long did it take you to master it, to get to the point where you're satisfied?
It's different when you're cooking at home versus cooking in the restaurant. In many ways, we deconstruct a little bit more here.
Yeah.
But it's essentially a one-pot meal. I'd say it took me a better part of a year to probably really finally, get it right.
Yeah, to the chef standard.
That's right. So you kind of can't really walk away from it. You want to, but you see you get a beautiful dark sear. Where it's not.
Look at that color.
Where it's not burnt, but it looks dark because of the wine. So we want to get a nice even color all the way around.
It's beautiful. Are you a drumstick person or a flat person?
I would say I'm more of the thigh guy, but any red meat, you know, I prefer the red over the white.
Yeah.
So I would take a leg over a breast any day.
Beef is my favorite, but on a regular basis, I eat more white meat than red meat.
You say beef is your favorite?
Beef is my favorite.
Me too. First, we're going to start with our bacon. So smoked pork belly.
Ooh.
What we'll do here is we'll render out the bacon, get that nice bacon fat coming out, and then we'll roast our vegetables in there to start our braise. Here at Perle, we cook probably serve about 100 portions a week of this dish.
Oh wow!
It's become, you know, one of our staples. We now add our Mirepoix, which is the base of all, you know, sauces, braises, stocks that we make. So it's 50% onion, 25% carrot, 25% celery.
Got you. How many times do you fall in love with the food you're cooking every day?
I mean, I always say to young chefs, you know, to be a good chef, you have to love what you're doing.
Yes, of course.
So we like to bring that passion and love into everything we cook.
When you're enjoying it, when you put love in it, your client can taste it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the difference between rosemary and thyme?
Well, I would say to begin with, thyme is used a lot in French cooking. We use it to cook almost everything, from roasting vegetables to cooking a piece of fish, or cooking a piece of meat. It's traditionally always thyme, garlic, lots of butter. Rosemary, you know, has almost a strong, almost pine-like flavor.
Gotcha.
Whereas thyme is more subtle, but it adds a real extra layer, you know, to whatever you.
And today we're using thyme.
We're always using thyme and cocoa van, yes.
And here, today, we have the real deal. I feel like I'm entering into this wonderland of exquisite French cuisine right here, right now with Chef Dean.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we prepared a few of our classic staple dishes here at Perle. 3 of which are, I would say, classic French. One is our local inspired California crab dish, our blue crab with avocado. So under the avocado you have a blue crab, which is coming from Baja California. It's mixed with a little Meyer lemon aioli. There's some cucumber in there, some herbs, a little lemon zest. It's topped with avocado. Around the outside you have some cucumber, some pickled watermelon radish, some more of the Meyer lemon aioli, some fresh herbs. So you have the micro cilantro and nasturtium leaf, and pain de mie crouton.
That's the epitome of California taste right there.
Yeah, this one I would say is very much inspired by California. So next we have our Pateon Croot, which is pork pate, which is baked in a pastry crust, a pâte brisée. It's kind of a traditional pie crust. Inside the pate, you have, to have pate, you need to have liver. So we do both pork liver and chicken liver. There's pistachio in there, a little bit of pork fat as well, and some herbs and a little, we use Aleppo pepper just for a hint of spice.
Isn't it so amazing that your palate was so ingrained in the way you were brought up, but as you grew up, your palate changed over time as well?
Yeah, I grew up on a farm, so we, in many ways, we had a lot of comfort foods, meat and potatoes, braises. So I think one of the reasons I fell in love with French cooking is a lot of it relates to the food that I ate growing up. My goal is to one day get back to the farm.
Right?
So.
Yeah, just to just be with the nature. Yeah, be with Mother Earth.
Shall we try the pate?
Shall we? Yes.
Let me cut it. So next we have our Frise Leone salad, which is probably my favorite salad, which is not it's not the lightest, healthiest salad you would think, but I like that it has it has the egg on there, which for me you can eat.
You can't do wrong.
You can put an egg on anything, breakfast, lunch, dinner. I'm okay with it.
Agreed.
You have the lardon, you have the fresh cherry tomato, the frisée with the Dijon vinaigrette, and then the chicken liver mousse. I would say traditionally in France, when you order a frisée lyonnais, you can usually choose lardon or chicken liver. A lot of time you choose one or the other, so we kind of combine the two because I think they still go very well together as well.
Nice.
So, be my guest.
I just realized that this whole time I did this the opposite. I totally got distracted by all the delicious food here. And when I ask you, do you ever get tired working in the kitchen, preparing each dish? And you said you fall in love every time you prepare each dish. And I think that's what passion is about.
I tell all the young chefs, at some point in your career early on, you have to make a commitment to be, you have to be in it 100% or 110%. And once you make that commitment, and you really have to love what you're doing to enjoy. I think to enjoy being a chef, you have to make that decision to love it.
100%.
Yeah, or maybe you're going to be miserable with the hours, the hard work, but as long as there's love and passion, it doesn't feel like work.
And bon appetit.
Bon appetit.
That chef's kiss. The stay-at-home lifestyle really prompted me to reflect on life, everything in life. I used to take food and cooking for granted all the time. And now I just started to appreciate all the simplest things in life. So I'm really curious about you, Chef Dean, as a chef. How has your perspective about food and life changed over the year?
It was important to me was through the pandemic, we served a lot of food to people in their homes and their families, and I've been very very happy to showcase my journey as a chef through my experiences and through our food.
Yeah.
For them to enjoy at home.
Yeah.
So.
Food just brings so much joy and pleasure into your life. It's a way of celebrate life. And you know, just when I walk down the farmer's market with my hands full and that taste of that fresh plum in season, it just, the joy it brings is just inexplicable.
Yeah,
so,
for me, I had a fig the other day that almost changed my life because it was just grown perfectly.
I know, life has changed forever.
I'd like to pour you a glass of wine. It's a beautiful Burgundy that we do here. It's a Xuan Montrachet.
I would love that.
It pairs very well with our coq au vin that you had earlier.
Ooh.
You know, our steaks. We do a beautiful steak frites. We do a Wagyu côte de bœuf. So yeah, we love Burgundy. I think my wife and I, it's our favorite wine. This particular one is very, I would say it's earthy, it's delicate. You know, the terroir you can taste, and I think it just goes great with our food here. So.
Love that.
Santé.
As we say in French, santé.
Santé.
Parfait. So Chef Dean, you're immersed in this diversified cultural environment in your life and also in your career. Your wife is a beautiful Chinese lady, and you also have a Chinese business partner at this restaurant. So
Yes. My wife and I have known each other for going on 20 years, and through that I've met, you know, many people in her life, friends, family, investors. I've learned a lot, especially around how much they really care about food and how enjoying food together is a very special experience for them. And also where we are, you know, we're in San Gabriel Valley, which is in Los Angeles. I mean, this is the home of, you know, I would say Chinese, American Chinese culture in Los Angeles. So we're very much immersed into that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel blessed and fortunate to be living in LA. And
Same. Let's try some more wine. So this is a beautiful Chenin Blanc. It's a non-appellation from Loire Valley. It's from an upcoming producer, Xavier Weisskopf. And we love to support young and up-and-coming talent.
We love that. We love inclusivity.
We love looking to the future. And most of all, we like to drink the wine.
And cheers to life living in LA, living in California, and cheers to inclusivity.
All right.
Santé.
Santé.
Wow, really refreshing. Thank you, Lisa. As a Chinese living here in America, as a Chinese American, I feel like when we talk about, oh, let's go grab Chinese food with my friends, and we'll still think about the dim sum in San Gabriel Valley. So somehow that still feels like an isolated world. But at the same time, I feel like lately we've seen such a revolution of inclusivity, both in entertainment industry and also in the food industry, with all these new style of fusion food coming into the food industry.
Yeah.
So what kind of future would you like to see as a chef to bring forth into this food industry with your restaurant and your cooking style?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, the way that I think about it here, particularly at Perle, is, you know, we like to stay true to classics, meaning the classic French. We do our own interpretation, which is only part of the menu. So the other part of the menu would be seasonal creations, personal creations. I feel we are able, and we don't want to be sort of restricted from using any ingredient that we want to. And I feel like I like to showcase with these personal creations flavors, different international flavors that I've experienced through my journey as a chef, whether it be Chinese food, North African, Persian, Armenian. You know, the list goes on. We don't want to not be able to use things that we like to cook with. We stay true to classics, and we also experiment with flavors from our journey. As far as the future of food, for me, in the direction I would like to go in is to continue to educate our customers and our staff about the products that we use and why we use them. We're very big on sustainability. We research the producers from whether it's wine, food, meats, fish. We care about where it comes from and how it's produced, and most of all, how sustainable it is for the environment and for the future generations to come. So in talking about sustainability, I have another beautiful wine for you to try.
I'm excited.
This is Chenin. It's also from the Loire. It comes from Domaine Grosbois, who is a natural wine producer. I love the name of this wine. It's La Cuisine de ma Mère, which is from my mother's kitchen.
La Cuisine de ma Mère.
La Cuisine de ma Mère, which means my mother's kitchen.
Please, s'il vous plaît. Merci. Thank you for such an amazing day at Perle. Cheers to Perle and cheers to the future of food industry.
Thank you so much.
怎么样？看完了今天的节目之后，您是不是跟我一样胃口大增了呢？美食呢，的确是生命的燃料。那我也衷心的希望呢，电视机前的您呢，可以真正享受美食带来的快乐。那在享受美食的同时呢，也去了解多元文化，了解世界。好了，那今天的节目就到这里，我们下周再会。